Hello all. First of all, thank you everyone for attending and registering for the webinar. In the webinar, we haven't went in depth about the features install and configure which are done by CloudDBOps. The agenda of this session is that we will be going in depth about each and every feature of each technology such as Postgres features, MongoDB features, Elastic features. There will be a series of videos will be shared with you about the feature of each and every technology. So let us see what are the features which we are offering as a beta version. Coming to the Postgres, right now we are offering Postgres installation and replication features, as well as Postgres add, rebuild or remove replica, which is very useful for any DBA to do via UI. And coming to the Postgres backup, which is a full backup. These are the current features which we are offering as a beta version. In this today's session, we will go in depth about the Postgres installation and replication features, as we have shown in the webinar how CloudDBOps helps to install and configure clusters within minutes. Let us deep dive and see what CloudDBOps has configured and see how well it is configured without any manual intervention. So let us deep dive. So let's first talk about the servers which we have deployed, as we have deployed one master and four replicas. So let's see what are the have been configured. So this is are the servers which I have deployed on AWS server, which is an T2 medium, which means it has, as you can see, T2 medium is equal to 4 CPUs and 4 GB of memory. So accordingly, it has to be configured in the CloudOps. The best part is that without any information given by you, everything will be calculated according to your RAM, CPU, storage, and it would be configured accordingly. So let's see whether it has been configured properly or not, and what are the parameters which have been calculated by itself. Let's go into it. So as we all can see that we have given a default, not a default path, which is a custom path generated by the user. So this is the path which is PG data, and the version which we have selected in the demo is 14, and data is the default directory path where the data gets stored. So let's get into the configuration file. So as all we know, Postgres.conf is the source for the complete Postgres where you manipulate your configurations. So let's see whether the memory has been set properly or not, or else the shared buffer is set properly or not, which is calculated automatically. As you can see, it is 980 MB, and the shared buffer was calculated on the memory part as 4 GB. According to the industry and our experience, our expertise people in our company, and who has driven into Postgres for many years, came to a conclusion that the shared buffer has to be of 0.25 of its memory. So if you calculate 4 GB into 0.25 divided by 25, then you will be able to get 980 MB, which it has done perfectly very well. And let's see the workmap. Workmap is also calculated on shared buffer and also the maximum connections. So first let's see the maximum connections, what it is. Sorry, max connections. As you can see, it is 400. So when you're calculating an workmap, the shared buffer by the maximum connections. So let's see the workmap, what it is allocated. It's 2 MB. As you can see, the shared buffer is 980 MB, and calculation by divided by 400, which is almost equal to 2. So let's see about the maintenance workman. It is also configured according to the standard practice, and you can see it has calculated very well above 117. And you can also see the effective cache memory, which depends upon your memory, and it has to be allocated of 0.75 according to industry practice, as well as our experts in our company. So let us quickly see the effective cache. It's 2941 MB, which is 0.75, and the memory, as we have seen, it is 4 GB and 0.75, which comes around 2941 MB, which it has done correctly and configured the complete configurations without any manual efforts and without even you providing your details of your memory and the hard disk. Let us also see whether the replication has been set properly or not. Before we see that, let's just quickly go ahead and open our slave and just look whether it has been configured properly or not. So if I go into the same directory as we have given the same directory for all the uh, complete cluster. So let's get into that directory, which is Postgres 14 version and data directory. And let's see the Postgres config. Over here also, let's first check about the shared buffer, as it is also the same 980 MB, as it is also having a memory of 4 GB and 2 CPU cores, 2 processing cores. So this is calculated perfectly, and you can also see the workman, which is 2 MB, same as the master node, and the maintenance workman, which is 117. And effective, we'll also see about effective cache. Let's quickly see. It's 2941 MB, which is exactly the same as the first one. And also, let's see the max connections. It should be the same, just 400. Good. So as you can see that everything is set properly and everything is working really, really fine. Let's also see whether it is running up and running or not. Postgres, just give me a minute. As you can see in this scenario, it is has been stopped because this is the by default version when you install on any Ubuntu or Linux. It has to be stopped, and we have configured and different path apart from the custom path. So that's the reason it has been stopped inactive. That has to be the scenario. And let us see. So yes, I can, as you can see, it's up and running, and you can see all the data over here, and the wall receiver streaming, recovery, everything. Because this is the path where your default path is, and it has to be running on that. When you go ahead and see in the master, you will have to be able to see all the details in depth about each and every slave also. So let's quickly see that too. See, as we can see, it has the same custom directory path which is running up and running, and you can see the background writers, wall writers, archive-based backup, wall senders, which are the replicas, and which are streaming, and there is no lag in between anything. So these are the default features, and the logical replication launcher is also been installed. So you can see everything has been configured very perfectly, and it's is very smooth with a single click using CloudOps, which makes your life very easy. And yes, so this is about the complete Postgres installation and replication, which is done by CloudOps. In the future, we'll be also releasing the other features such as the Postgres and read replica and Postgres backup as the next version or the next upcoming series of videos, and will be shared with you via email. And you'll also follow our site, which will be uploaded. The videos will be uploaded over there also. So I hope you have enjoyed this session, and thank you everyone.